who is now making some banelings, has good saturation at the gold. Harvester count relatively even. There is the third gateway for Huck, which is now transforming into a warp gate. Looks like the Zerglings gonna make their way into the Nexus. Oh my goodness, the Banelings coming in here. These Zealots all clumped up, taking massive damage from the Banelings, and they're all in the red right now. The Nexus once again, this time killed off, not even canceled in time by Huck, and Huck now starting to feel the pressure of the Zerg swarm. TLO pushing forward with his Speedlings, even still has a couple of Speedlings up on the ramp. And as a result, Huck once again has his Nexus denied, and that is 400 minerals in the hole that he will never see again. Almost like a taste your own medicine kind of treat for Huck, who was constantly canceling the gold expansion back on Metalopolis in the last game. And it's really looking bad for Huck as this game continues to progress. TLO has a slight economic advantage with 3 more harvesters. He also has a huge advantage, actually, scratch that, with this gold expansion. He's now securing a natural right at his front door, and he is just looking great. I'm wondering what Huck's response is going to be, as he's got 3 gateways, 3 warp gates, and I mean, he does have warp gate, he does have +1 weapons, and he does have his signature unit, the Sentry. So if he can lay down some good force fields, he might be able to get back in this game. Good force fields on the front, and oh, nice force fields there. A little bit late, and TLO with a good reaction, pulling his Zerglings away just before they could get trapped. And what I wanted to say is look for Huck to make efficient use of his sentries. That really is his primary unit. That is the best unit in Huck's arsenal. It's his secret weapon, and his force field placement is going to be key. Do note there are some overseers coming in here over to the right side of Huck's main. Looks like another good blockade of force fields, keeping the sentries and zealots alive. And the overseers, this is now TLO's new signature unit, going in with the contaminate. And wow, all 2 out of 3 warp gates here put out of commission. They cannot produce anything with that brown gunk on them. And unfortunately for Huck, this is a crucial time when he needs to be producing units, because he's got his Nexus up, he's trying to get additional warp gates, and really he needs units right now, because if we look on the production tab, we can see 6 Zerglings, 4 Roaches, Carapace level 2, Burrow and Glio reconstitution on the way. So that all signals to me that TLO will be making an aggressive maneuver in the next couple of minutes, and he's using this contamination to buy time so that Huck will not have the forces necessary to defend against it. In fact, this is the army we've seen from Huck for the last couple of minutes. He hasn't really been able to build much else, and it's really hurting him right now. If we look on the army tab, 68 under 92. TLO's strategy here working beautifully. He's going to go in for another round of contamination to counter the warp gates. And here comes the contaminate. Looks like Huck here pushing forward to tap the Zelnaga Watchtower. And what are these overseers doing? They need to, I guess they're just going for a scouting run. And TLO is not going to be throwing down the contaminate after all. Instead, might possibly lose this overseer. But does it really matter? TLO's economy is booming. If he wanted to, he could just mass produce drones. If he wanted to, he could just mass produce attacking units and try to bust down the front door. The ball really is in TLO's court, and it's Huck's, it's really on Huck to defend or either attack. It's his 2 options right now, and honestly I don't think defense is the way to go. He has to push out, but look at this brilliant creep spread by the Little One. It has almost reached the center of Lost Temple, and this does 2 things for the Zerg army. It gives speed to all these units. As you guys can see, those speedlings look like they're skating on ice. Not only that, it gives vision of the Zerg army whenever the Protoss army decides to engage forward. And look at the Zerglings now burrowing underneath. They were locked in by the force field, and then the Little One decided to burrow the Zerglings to keep them alive. Great maneuvering here by both players. Just a little bit better by the Little One using that burrow, and it doesn't look like Huck has any detection whatsoever, except for this cannon back at home. So Huck there just tried to make a push out, try to make something happen, but without an OBS, he cannot see the burrowed units, and you guys can see he's now trying to get robotics tech down so that he can catch the Zerg army when it does burrow. Hive also on the way. Now what I wanted to say is, the key to the creep, not only does it give you bonus with speed, but it also it gives you intelligence as to when the Protoss army decides to engage forward and push onto your creep. So it gives you vision and it gives you speed, and those are 2 key essentials to playing Zerg well. And for Huck, he needs to get an observer out pronto. It looks like he is going to be chrono boosting one obs, so he can start to detect the burrowed units, and he can kill off the creep tumors. But wow, there's a lot of burrowed banelings at the center of the map, so it's gonna be key for Huck not to push out until he has his obs. There's his obs. So, oh my goodness, that's real close to the sentries and zealots. But the obs catches the burrowed banelings, and I don't even think Huck realized there was banelings there, and he actually pulled back for a second. But TLO decides to unburrow his banelings, and he is going to fall back onto the protection of his creep. So we can see at this point that Huck is still in a lot of trouble. The income tab favoring TLO by 5, but keep in mind TLO does have that gold expansion, now trying to secure a 4th as well. He's also trying to get, Huck's also trying to get 2 Colossus out and extended thermal lance. If he can get the Coloxin out, he's going to be in a much better position, and he might be able to hold on to this gold expansion. If he can get that gold, he's going to be in a great position in this game. Meanwhile, the little one is now tacking up to Hive technology. He's got Ultralisk Cavern down, and you can bet we are going to be seeing some Mama Ultralisk coming out in the next couple of minutes. Those units are so scary, and what is Huck going to do about it? Looks like TLO trying to get us around with the Speedlings, coming around for a flank. Now these Speedlings are going to go straight up into the main, and they are going to see the Colossus. So even though these Speedlings won't do any damage, oh, they might be able to kill the Colossus. No, they will not. They won't do any damage, but they will see the Colossus, and with that, TLO can respond in kind. It looks like the little one not even caring to get Spire and get Corruptors out to deal with the Colossus. Instead, he's going to just make 26 Zerglings, 2 Ultralisks, and he's going to get the Chitinous plating as well as Ventral Sacs. So things are looking uber deadly right now for the Protoss. And if we look at the army tab, 176 over 141. Really, I think the only hope right now for Huck is to try to build up a massive ball of units, including a Pride of Coloxin, maybe like 200 max, and then he'll be able to possibly win if TLO mismanages and mismicros and loses his entire army in an engagement. But I don't know if that's really a lot of things adding up, a lot of variables adding up to help out Huck, and I just don't think the moons and stars are going to align like that. TLO just has too many ultras in production. He has 4 on the way, and oh my goodness, Huck now has to engage at a favorable position. He has to be careful on this creep as well. He is starting to pop those creep tumors to recede it back, but he has to be careful where he engages. Looks like TLO gonna get a great surround, and Infestor's gonna lay down the fungal growth, preventing the Protoss ball from retreating, and oh my goodness, the Ultralisk even leading the charge in here, and everything is falling for Huck. The entire army getting taken apart. The Ultralisk gets a transfuse from the Queen. Beautiful play from the little one, and it looks like Huck here is going to lose the center battle, and even his Colossus and everything just falling. You guys can see Huck desperately trying to reproduce units. He has to hold on to this gold expansion. Should he lose the gold, he is definitely out of this game, as TLO is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases against barely a 3-base Zerg. And do we have, is that Broodlords? No, it's just more Overseers morphing in. So Huck here doing well, but TLO doing even better. And it looks like the Zerg army is going to win today. Everything gets taken out, and Huck, GG's, well played, good luck. Oh my goodness. What a game indeed. Keep in mind, this game started off with aggression from the little one, trying to do that 6-pull, and it actually worked out to his advantage, and then he was able to kick it into long-term macro game, and the rest is history. What a great match between the little one and between Huck at MLG Dallas Day 3. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this broadcast, and yeah, we'll have more games coming out soon, and thanks a lot for all your support, guys. Make sure to subscribe. HD, signing out.